Listen up, Coulter here from H&S, and today it's Huila Magico Day. So I've got the number 1 through 5 of the Huila Magico competition winners. This is a competition put on by Coffee Quest. This competition was born out of COVID lockdowns and was a way to try to generate some guaranteed income for farmers in the region. I gotta say, they're pretty awesome every year. There's usually always at least one lot that I try to get my hands on. They got the same profile in Akawa, the same roast profile. I wasn't able to really do any sort of manipulation or profiling. I just gave them all the exact same roast profile, run them through, we're going to taste them. I know we've got a bunch of different varieties, and I'm sure, again, probably some different densities, moisture contents, things like that. I didn't take any measurements. It was late last night. I just sped through the profiles so that I could get to cupping them today. This is my standard cupping recipe. This is 11 gram dose, 175 gram water. And as always, 60-20 water across the board, always for everything. So let's start slurping. Okay, interesting. Top 5 placing coffees in the competition. There's a lot of good stuff here. These profiles aren't perfect, and so I have to taste through some of the faults of the Kawa profile that I use to roast these. That's really just part of being a good buyer, is learning to taste through roast defects to see the potential of the coffee. By and large, what I'm tasting here is basically more development than I'm used to, certainly more development than what I would be roasting these at in production. The amount of sugar browning is definitely more in the brown sugar sort of realm. So I'm looking sort of through that, and all stellar cups so far. I mean, there's one maybe that I am not super infatuated with. It's nice and juicy, pretty zingy. It's a little softer, very sweet. This is the cup. This is the cup that I marked on the break for having a little sort of tropical fruit punch to it. And it's definitely intriguing. Very curious about it. Every time I taste something I like, I just give it a little dot. That's all I'm marking here for now. Not really gonna, I might not write anything down, but we'll see. Super sweet. This cup on the end is the only one that I'm really getting anything nutty out of. So I will write that down. It's a bit strange because, like I said, these are all fairly well developed on this roast profile. And so a nutty note coming out to me, and it could be indicative of a very wet coffee that didn't get enough development on this profile, or it could just be that this coffee has a nutty note in it. Again, you kind of have to figure that out as you're tasting through, make that decision, but If it's a sign of underdevelopment, then that's okay. I can roast through that. I can suss that out in the roast. I think this is my brightest over here. I like this one too. I'd actually like this one a little more. It's really nice and clean. It has like a vanilla complement to the sort of stone fruit juice in there. It's intriguing. Yeah, this one again. Now this one's turned up. These are both really nice. Goodness. You know, with the top 5 finishers in a competition from Huila that's put on by Coffee Quest, there's going to be 5 awesome cups, and trying to figure out which ones I want is really hard. You could almost probably just pick up any one and be extremely happy. You know, I want to look for uniqueness. I really like unique profiles that just showcase something a little different from what you might expect from the region, from the terroir. Otherwise, very clean cups with lots of intensity. Some sweet, smoother, nuttier cups on the ends. We've got more tropical fruit, juicy cups here. And then in the middle is definitely the unique one, the odd one out perhaps. That's really, really interesting. Well, these two are a little more citric, a little more stone fruit, tropical fruit juiciness. This is much more of a melon-like juiciness. Which makes me think of Cedra. We'll see. I've almost got everything I need here. This one's on the edge. It's punctuating with some brightness, some acidity that I like. It's definitely got this sort of smooth nuttiness in the body. This one's mostly smooth nuttiness that I don't know that I love. And then these 3 are all awesome. So now what? Do I get all 3? Okay. I am going to rank my preferences here. In the middle is number 1, definitely. I'm gonna go over here for number 2. I think it's just a little bit juicier, a little bit more intense. Number 3, I mean, it's just barely a half step behind in terms of that intensity. I'll go over here for number 4, over here for number 5. Okay, let's see what we got. So we're starting. My 4th preference is number 4. And this is La Primavera. This is a yeast inoculated washed coutura. Okay. So the yeast inoculation might have given it some of that creamier body. That might be what I'm kind of tasting there. It's a pretty interesting one. Okay, my 3rd favorite is cup number 5. 5th place. Sometimes you always get a sleeper here with Huila Magico. Loma Linda. This is a yeast inoculated washed field blend. My number 1 favorite. It's number 1, of course. Bella Vista, pink bourbon washed. A little surprised actually, I think we have another pink bourbon here and the Cedra still. So I'm a little surprised that this one tasted so different. Really leaning into the melon-like qualities that I definitely thought was a cedar. So my second preference was number 2, also a pink bourbon. And then my least favorite was the washed cedra. That is really nice. These are both really nice. I taste a pretty good amount of development in there. The yeast inoculations are interesting. It's adding a creaminess to the cup. It's sort of in the body, sort of underlying. And then you get more traditional, juicy fruit notes on top. It makes for a dynamic flavor profile overall. They're interesting. I'm not sure that I want to go that direction, but they would be unique, certainly. So, okay, there we go. Huila Magico. Again, my favorite cup blind was Huila Magico number 1. My second favorite cup was Huila Magico number 2. My third favorite cup was Huila Magico number 5. My fourth favorite was Huila Magico number 4. And then my least favorite, my fifth preference, was Huila Magico number 3. Cool. All right, I better go jump on the phone with my importer in Colombia here at Coffee Quest and see if I can snag these. If so, these are going to be some really nice additions to the menu. We've got some really good Colombians coming up in the next couple of months. These will certainly complement them, make something a little bit extra special to maybe drop into a subscription. I don't know. We'll see. See how much I can get. All right, that's it for now. It is a few mornings later after the cupping, and I was able to secure some Huila Magico. I got Huila Magico number 2, second place. I was able to get a few bags. I wasn't able to buy out the whole lot. I was kind of hoping I could get all of what was offered. Maybe this wasn't the full offer that's written on here. We'll see. But I got a few bags. Very excited about it. As I mentioned in my cupping, number 1 and number 2 were really close together. So this morning I decided to brew up a cup. I'm doing the Gabby Standard recipe. I use this recipe to evaluate everything that comes through. It's very sweet, really nice. That pink bourbon sweetness is, if it's a light roasted, well-processed, high-scoring pink bourbon, it's got a sweetness to it that's pretty unique to the variety. Oh, it's a good way to start the day. Very bright, very juicy. Nice. Yeah. Clean cup. Very juicy, lots of tropicals. Part of the sweetness that I just described earlier, it's sort of a taffy-like sweetness, and I've often said pink starburst. It's a lot of pinks. Pink starburst, some pink lemonade in here, that nice citrus brightness. Oh, it's bright. Some cherry. Some more notes will start popping out, but wow, it's just really juicy. Very wet on the palate. It's definitely juicing up my taste buds. Wow, cool. Wow. Very bright. This is going to make a really fun, probably ultralight, maybe light. We'll see. We'll see how heavy I want to lean into the sweetness here. Huila Magico number 2. This is from the farm of Santa Librada. City is Santa Maria. Huila, of course, Colombia. Pink bourbon washed. Exceptional. Super happy. Was able to secure some of this. It's going to be an awesome coffee. Yeah, that's all I got. Cheers, y'all.